6, the Wisconsin state budget deadline is nearing and negotiations are still ongoing. Our Wisconsin State Capitol Bureau Chief Vanessa Kelson breaks down the latest update in the budget battle.
The state budget sets funding levels for schools, transit, the UW system, and more in your community. On Tuesday morning, Governor Evers spoke with the state's top Republican after negotiations broke down between the two parties last week.
It takes three people to tango.
A tango trio between the Democratic governor and the state legislature's Republican-led Assembly and Senate.
We'd like to have a guarantee from Governor Evers that we're going to get tax cuts signed into law.
Republicans asking for that guarantee in exchange for supporting the governor's child care measures. The governor's spokesperson telling me Evers remains, quote, hopeful Republicans will decide to continue those negotiations so the state budget can be completed soon.
We're staying in regular communication as we continue to work through it.
In the midst of federal funding freezes, the UW system is requesting a record $856 million funding increase in the state budget.
UW is dealing with all that uncertainty as they need to plan ahead for their budget.
Wisconsin Democratic Attorney General Josh Kaul says federal funding uncertainties only add to the chaos. The state budget deadline is Monday, and Republicans are saying it's unlikely that that deadline will be met. And if it isn't, Wisconsin will just continue operating under the previous budget. From the Wisconsin State Capitol, Vanessa Kelson.